when we found out he had his cancer, he was 10 and a half, you know, and he was a typical kid back then, you know, and I think we always had hope, you know, but along the journey, once it reoccurred, I think at that point, he knew what was coming, you know, and what to expect. And by the time he was like 12 and a half and before he passed away, he was very wise beyond his years. It's like we say, he was like an old soul in a 12-year-old body. You know, he was pretty wise and would ask questions that were like, how do you, you know, even it baffled us. You're like, where are you learning this from? And you're like, we kind of figured there was those who were educating him beyond us, you know, and helping him out. And he would then have a question and we're like, if we need to, we'll research and try to answer your question. But I mean, yeah, he would come up with things that were like, where are you getting this from? And it helped teach us along the way as well as if we weren't sure, we would absolutely find out for him. But yeah, I think, you know, at 10, you know, you're young and you're just going along with it. But with what we had to learn between all the pokes and MRIs and procedures and traveling and, you know, just radiation and, you know, like I said, he kind of knew what was coming in most aspects after you've been through it once. So once he would know what was coming and he became educated, and it was tough because he got severe anxiety with getting poked for doing MRIs and everything because he knew it was coming. So he did get some good anxiety and everything towards the end, but I think he would know, he would ask questions, but then he was ready to move on. And like I said, some of his teachers, fifth grade teacher would be like, but he's got cancer. I'm like, don't focus on that. Treat him like any other kid. He got to be in the school play, you know? And I'm like, don't use it as an excuse. I think that was the other thing is like, don't use it as an excuse. Grade him, give him homework, do everything like a typical kid, because we didn't want it to define him or use it as an excuse either. It was like, oh, well, you can get out of that just because you have cancer. You know, we wanted him to expand and learn and have those experiences and everything. And like I said, I think that was my biggest thing is like, don't let him get out of it just because of that, you know? So.
Which I'd be just the opposite. I'd be like, no way, I'm not doing that. I got cancer. There's no way you're talking me into doing that.
I guess I had high expectations. I'm like, oh, okay, you got to learn what you can. And yeah.
You want me to do what? Nuh-uh, not happening.